The Buffalo Bills lost a lot of key guys during the offseason, with them cutting their veteran players like Jordan Poyer, Tre'Davious White, and Mitch Morse. These players have been with Buffalo for 5 years or longer, where they were all significant to the success of the team and putting them in a position to compete in the playoffs. Not only have they cut some of their players, but they also traded away their star wide receiver Stephon Diggs, where they traded him to the Houston Texans. Diggs was crucial to the development of their franchise quarterback Josh Allen, and he managed to have a 1,000-yard season with 8+ touchdowns every year with the Bills. His productivity with the Bills was extraordinary and made the game easier for Josh Allen by being a target he could rely on. They lost another receiver in Gabe Davis in free agency to the Jacksonville Jaguars, causing them to lose 2 of their star wide receivers and lose continuity in that position. To fix this problem, the Bills went free agency and signed a bunch of receivers like Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Curtis Samuel, Matt Collins, KJ Hamler, and Chase Claypool. The only receiver signing that I think will be significant to helping the Bills is Curtis Samuel. While the other receivers will contribute to the team, they have shown people in their careers that they aren't consistent in being good offensive weapons, which is why they won't really be useful towards getting Buffalo to their goal of being a threat in the AFC. They also drafted Keon Coleman, a receiver who went to Florida State they got in the 2nd round. He has a lot of potential to be the Bills' next star player on the offensive side of the ball, but only time will tell if he will be able to turn into a Pro Bowl caliber player. They modified their wide receiver core the most out of all the other positions on their team, and now Josh Allen will have to rely on a different set of guys to continue their efficiency on offense. Even though they had a lot of changes with their receivers, they had also altered their offensive line and safeties, which concerns me because a player like Mitch Morse was the heart and soul of the Bills' offensive line, with him rarely missing any games. Morris even played the whole year last season, showing his consistency and dedication to the team. While their defense just lost their safety core in Jordan Poyer and possibly Micah Hyde, who hasn't decided if he wants to return to the Bills or retire. As for the loss of their cornerback Tre'Davious White, it shouldn't affect them that much because he only played 4 games last season and 6 games the season after that. White dealt with a ton of injuries and couldn't stay on the field to contribute to the team, but nonetheless, their defensive backfield would look really different with the loss of their veterans that knew what it took to win. Although they'll have a lot of new starters on the team, the Bills' defense seems like it will still be solid enough to help them win and keep the opposing offense from taking over the game. Players like cornerback Rasul Douglas, defensive tackle Ed Oliver, and linebacker Matt Milano have all shown in their careers that they are excellent players at their respective positions and will be able to sway the game to their advantage. Not to mention that they have an all-pro quality player in Von Miller, who had one of his worst seasons last year, where in 12 games he had 0 sacks, 3 combined tackles, and 0 tackles for loss. He might not be the same player as he once was from his history of injuries during his time in Buffalo, but you can make the case that it was just an off year for him last season, and he will still be able to make an impact of being an elite defensive end. If Miller can get back to his former self, or at least 75% of what he used to be, then Buffalo's defense will be talked about as one of the top defenses in the NFL. Their defense doesn't have to carry the burden of helping their team succeed, because even though the Bills' offense lost some of their players, they still have some weapons that can be beneficial for helping their offense score points. Even though they're still trying to find their wide receiver 1, the Bills can rely on their tight ends Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. They also have a Pro Bowl running back in James Cook, who takes the pressure off of Josh Allen having to throw the ball majority of the time and opens up the run game. Allen will be able to continue this great quarterback play with these players by his side to help him, but I don't think it's enough for them to be contenders in the AFC. Their conference has gotten better, especially their division with teams like the New York Jets and Miami Dolphins improving. The Jets are getting back their elite quarterback Aaron Rodgers from injury, who missed the entire season last year, while the Dolphins have added talented players to their roster like wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr., linebacker Shaquille Barrett, and former safety of the Bills Jordan Poyer. Both teams have the ability to win their division and make it more difficult for Buffalo to secure a spot in the playoffs. Speaking of playoffs, the Bills haven't been able to get past the hump of getting to the Super Bowl, even though many people have expected them to take that next step with their franchise quarterback Josh Allen. In the past 4 years, they had the ability to do so with their roster being so talented, but the thing that stopped them from winning in the AFC is the Kansas City Chiefs. They lost to the Chiefs 3 times out of the last 4 years, and Kansas City has no plans of slowing down their success because they have improved with their signings in free agency and in the draft. The Bills will surely have a lot of questions to answer this season, with one of those questions being if they will still be able to contend in the AFC. However, one thing is certain, and that is that they have their QB in Josh Allen to lead them through the season and even continue their path of having a chance to compete in the AFC.